Right there. I didn't know them was in there. Boys, dudes can wear them. I'm bless somebody with the other ones, you know? I didn't know them was in there. Welcome to Support Surviving Fentanyl. Today we have here with us
Joshua Miller.
Joshua Miller. How you doing today, brother?
Blessed.
I like to start all the interviews off with your birthday. Not your birthday, I'm sorry. I like to start all the interviews off with where you from originally.
Well, I was born in Canada. We were living in Detroit. They drove to Canada, had me born.
Oh yeah? So you were born in Canada?
Yeah, I didn't live there, but I was born there. Yeah, I was living in Detroit.
How long you been in Arizona?
I just moved back 2 months ago.
2 months ago, okay.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about your journey in Arizona. How old did you say you were again?
I'm 31.
31 years old, Canada to Detroit. Where were you living when you just moved away from here?
I was in Washington.
Washington?
State, yes sir.
Washington State. How did you like it there?
It was cool when I first went there. The whole place is kind of on a decline right now. So, yeah, it was different.
Okay. So what brought you back to Arizona?
I went out there to try to get clean. I took my baby mom originally to try to get her clean, get her away from like this environment, and it didn't work.
Where's she at now?
She got stranded in Oregon.
Are you in contact with her?
She'll call like twice a year sometimes and ask to speak with the kids. But the last time that she talked, she was still in it was like a month after I got here. She was still in Oregon, and I said come down here and get clean, and she said that she wanted to, and she never contacted me again. I haven't heard from her since.
Oh, okay. Sorry to hear that. So you have custody of the kids?
Yes, sir.
Okay, where they at right now?
Single parent. They're at the house with grandma.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's, you know what my cause is: support surviving fentanyl. Also, SSF stands for Strength, Serenity, and Freedom. We won't turn our back or, away from anybody that needs help. Right.
I respect that.
And we just met while I was doing a clothes giveaway. It was cold today. So
yes,
our organization, we came together to help out, see if we could get some people some garments, right?
Community outreach, I like it.
Yeah, so it's one of my favorite spots to go to, man, because everybody down there is like all well receptive. They're good people.
And they need it.
Yeah, and what's the plan, man? Why did I meet you down there tonight?
I think that we were meant to meet because we've got a similar past, it's passions and past, and probably somewhat similar struggles. So I feel like, and we're the same people. So with unity, moving forward, that's where our strength lies, and we can get stuff taken care of. I want to move in a positive direction, continue being a functional member of society, but I also want to use a negative, which is the whole experience, and turn it to a positive, and hopefully lead some of these youths out of the situation they're in.
Yeah, man,
also.
that would be wonderful. And that's the same thing with me, right? You know, I always tell people, some people we won't be able to help. You know, some people are too far gone. Some people don't want the help. But with education, curriculum, and warning our youth, making them aware, not making it to where they're introduced, the first time they're introduced to fentanyl is from a friend or from a bad mix of drugs.
Right.
I think that we can save a lot of lives. So, how long have you been in this battle of getting clean, getting unclean for?
With fentanyl, it started like basically like when it came out. So, I think I was like 26, maybe
And you're how old now?
30.
30, so you've been battling this for 10 years.
Yeah. I was battling alcohol even before that. So, yeah.
Yeah. My mother would always say that we had addictive personalities, you know. So we talked a little bit brief off camera. We were talking about it's hard to quit doing something that you actually enjoy doing, and self-medicating and all those things.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your journey of using drugs. Like, how do you use it? Like, what's the method of using it? Do you ingest it, swallowing it? Do you shoot it up? Do you smoke it? What's
I I started off just smoking heroin. It was like the first hard drug that I did, and then, well, actually, I was doing coke. I was doing a sales job, and I was doing cocaine because like just it was like kind of part of the sales culture, the coke, and then I started doing heroin so I could go to sleep to just bring me back down, and then I became more like chemically addicted to the heroin, and then I ended up moving to Washington, getting clean off of that, and when I moved back, I was clean for a while, but then got introduced to the blues, which I thought were normal Percocets originally, but when I found out that they weren't, that they were like a really destructive new drug, it was already too late and had the meat hooks already sunk into me. So
and you understand why now that I say educating is the biggest thing, right? Because
that's a perfect goes along. That would have prevented me right there.
so our whole movement is about us helping us, you know, unifying for change. What? How long have you been in this relapse series right here?
This one right now, I mean, I like relapsed maybe like a week or two ago, and then like on Christmas, and then I was clean all the way up until today. I was supposed to go get methadone, but I went to the dentist to get this cyst taken a look at, and so I was just on this side. I couldn't go down the
see?
dose.
Damn, how did that form, brother?
I'm pretty sure it's my wisdom tooth back here, and
Does it hurt?
right now, no. It did though, yeah. And I mean, I'm sure drugs probably, played an effect on my teeth and things like that, yeah.
So what's the plan to get out of this? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, you got to make your mind up, right?
Yeah.
So like, what you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, since I've been back, I've actually made a lot of progress. I mean, because in Washington, I was using every day. I was homeless, eating out of trash cans, had no self-esteem or no self-desire, no motivation, no self-worth, totally misguided, and lost. And when I got here, I got refocused through meditation and the power of a spiritual connection with the Most High, and picking my priorities straight. I got a job now. I I'm doing the methadone. I need to stay on that. They're going to increase my dose because I think that that's why I relapsed. Is I stopped my dose, and it wasn't recommended. So I'm going to continue on the program with what they recommend, not try to move too quickly. And that's how moving forward, I plan to not make this same mistake again.
Yeah, you got to be okay with being bored too, with getting clean, right? Until you cross that bridge of freedom, and that's why
Well said.
SSF is strength, serenity, freedom, right? If you
Well
get the
said.
strength to get the serenity, then you get the freedom, right?
Well said.
So right now in Phoenix, Arizona, and the valley surrounding Tri-Cities and all that, we're on a 47% increase, and the age that it's affecting is 12 to 17. What's the youngest person you've seen out using fentanyl?
I mean, there had to be some. We don't. We if we seen somebody younger doing it, we don't condone it. When they're not. That's not something that we are okay with having around. I mean, the moral aspect, and then also the police. That's never been something that. I've never been around a bunch of kids. I've never been around kids doing it. We're all grown.
Okay, all right. So, what about? Tell me. I want you to talk to the young man who's going through maybe a bad breakup, or maybe he lost his mom and dad, or maybe he just graduated high school, and the things that he thought were going to be open for him is no longer open. What would you tell him about fentanyl?
I would say that there's always better alternatives in dealing with your whatever problems that you think that you're running into. You can always take comfort in knowing that the Most High is never going to give you something that he knows you can't handle. And a lot of times, once you take a step back, look at the situation in a positive way, there's a lot of times it's not as bad as you think, and you just have to identify the issue, come up with a plan, a good one, a positive plan to attack it, and then stay focused and disciplined in executing it. It's easier said than done, but that's actually helped me out a lot because I struggle with anxiety. That's my main reason of self-medicating. And I've done research, and I found out that the anxiety is combated with action. So that would be an example of what I just said, coming up with the plan so that you could.
It's crazy that you say that. Probably about 65% of fentanyl users are self-medicating for mental health issues also. So my thing, what I wanted to ask you was, do you still feel like you have a chance at freedom, at being on the other side of, like, deep down, really, like a real question, do you see yourself making it out of this?
Getting past it. Yeah.
Because the next thing I want to talk to you about is overdose, right? Because that's always a factor, right? We were just under the bridge. We seen a lot of people knelt over, whatever, and I lost a cousin.
You see me check on that girl. That girl, right when we walked up, she was like slumped over. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you fear overdose?
Me personally, not necessarily.
Do you care? Like, because to me, it's always baffled me to, like, a person to do a drug and knowing that it might be the last time they do it.
Especially
like that would scare me.
Right. That's a good question. I mean, I struggle with knowing if I struggle with caring. I care when I remind myself of all the blessings that I have and everything that I have to live for. And
He is too.
yeah. I try not to use them when trying to console myself, because I try to do it for myself, and sometimes I trick myself into thinking that I'm a detriment to them and they'd be better off without me. So
That is so absolutely wrong, brother. How old are your kids?
One actually just turned 7 yesterday, and then the other one is 4.
What was their birthday like? Is it a boy and girl, girl and boy?
It's 2 beautiful girls.
Man, I got
named
2
them
little
both.
girls, 4 and 5, brother. So we do have a lot of things in common. Man, man, that touches me because it's like, do you understand that? I also never met my father, right? Never ever met my father. I never seen him on a picture. I don't know his real name or anything. But at 7 and how old did you say 4?
4.
They don't even know who God is, right?
Right.
So they don't even have the concept of God. You are their God. You know, they love you like that. You get what I'm saying? Like,
interesting.
I remember on Christmas, my baby there in Texas, I had a moment with her. We were on the phone, and she thought, because I was saying I was going to call her tomorrow, but she thought I was saying I was going to see her tomorrow. She got so excited, man, just that little bit of, just to see her get like, oh, he ain't coming. Man, it tore me up, man. I was crying all night to my sisters and everything, man. You know, like I just broke down. So, you know, I think you're doing it, and I ain't no social worker or nothing, but I think you're doing it for the wrong reasons. I think it's okay to sometimes find something that you love more than yourself to fight for, right?
Absolutely.
Because sometimes self-love is the hardest thing to do, right?
Yeah.
You got people who are successful in everything, but they still don't love self, right?
Yeah.
But you can love something else, man, you know?
Yeah.
How was your childhood coming up?
I always felt like, we were like, I felt like a spoiled rich kid, and then I ended up finding out we were in the hood the whole time, you know. But it's like,
Hey, it's crazy. I did an interview with another guy, and I wrote a book too. I got a book coming out this month. It's crazy that you said that, bro, because I said that too. I thought everybody ate at the Mission. I thought everybody shopped at. You didn't even have a concept of rich and poor
Right.
until you're exposed to it,
Right.
So yeah, I can relate to that also.
yeah, I always felt guilty and appreciated everything I had and seen what others didn't have. So I always felt spoiled. I felt guilty, like I had too much. But then I ended up, like, say, getting older and you know, we were in the hood the whole time. But I'm glad because it made me appreciate everything that,
So
that we had.
obviously, you got a good relationship with your mother.
Yeah.
How about your father?
It's hard because he doesn't know his dad either. It's a generational thing when it comes to us brothers.
Yeah.
But he does his best. He doesn't know how to like it. He doesn't know how to have a relationship, you know, father and son. But he tries his best. What he does teach me. He taught me how to box since I was 5, and he did a really good job every day waking me up, making me, because I hated doing it. He forced me to all the way up until I was in high school, and he always said I was going to thank him for that. And I never really understood how discipline, how much he had to care to actually wake up and make sure that I did that every day. I do thank him for that. And
So he's still around? Is he still in your life
he
now?
he was in Washington.
Oh,
I
that's
was
when you
living
went to
with him in Washington, but we were all renting rooms in the same house. Me and my sister, him, we had it, and 2 other roommates, and then he lives in Thailand now.
Oh, wow. So what's your nationality?
I am half. My mom is white Canadian, and my dad is African American.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, when are you going? We'll wrap it up like this. So, what's the plan to exile from under that bridge?
Yeah, as far as being under this like being tormented by this demon, and what was the question again, brother?
How are you going to get from under that bridge, get back home, take care of those babies?
Oh, you're talking about tonight.
I'm talking about just like,
I'm going there right after we wrap this up. It's a wrap.
So I'm dropping you off at home.
If you can, I'd appreciate that. I'm right down the street.
So I want to just real quick before we get out of here. Withdrawals? Are you having withdrawals when you quit?
Luckily, I'm on methadone.
So tomorrow you can get your methadone tonight. Have you ever tried Suboxone?
I did. That when I quit the first time off of heroin, I got my hand on some Suboxone. It worked better with heroin. Methadone kind of works better with
Fentanyl.
fentanyl in my experience.
Yeah, because it's probably real. It's just probably you might need a higher dose of Suboxone. Everybody, it's just like methadone or whatever. Man, you gotta say something to the youth for me, man. You gotta scare them straight. Give me one of your scariest stories or the craziest thing you ever seen, overdose story or something that happened.
So when me and my baby mother were using, we first started, I would try to regulate how much she did, and of course that didn't work. She would sneak extras, and I was worried about her because girls are really sensitive when it comes to these type of drugs, and they can OD easier. And I was gonna take a walk with my daughter, so I left my baby mama. I went on a walk with my daughter to check the mail, and I took a little bit longer because I was teaching her words. I'm like, look, there's a tree. So I'm taking a little bit longer. All of a sudden, I got this really weird feeling. So I went home. When I went home, I'm looking everywhere for my baby mama, and I can't find her. I'm panicking because I already had the bad feeling. I'm running everywhere. I'm looking. It turns out the whole time she was on the floor. I was running past her because she had OD'd. She was on the floor. I was looking at eye level. When I grabbed her, she was dead weight, completely blue. And God knows how long, the whole time I was walking, she was in there not breathing. She should have been dead. I had no Narcan, and I was screaming out to God, God, please, no. I've never sounded like this in my life. I've never felt more helpless. I picked her up as good as I can. The dead weight, struggled so hard, got her into the shower, and thank God she came to, and she was yelling at me, cursing me out for yelling and for crying. She was just overwhelmed. So she wasn't even happy for me saving her life. That was one of the most traumatic things. If you don't want to live through shit like that, then don't do this drug, because you're gonna have to get used to situations like that. If you do, there's no way around it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Support surviving fentanyl, unify for change. We out.